Hello everybody, my name is Wendy Keys Turnbull and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And today is my regular Tuesday night live. And the first announcement I want to make is that beginning next week I will be doing Wednesday nights live instead of Tuesday nights live. So let me just get you up on my computer here so I can watch if it'll let me. And okay, as you log in to watch, please make sure you say hi so I know you're there and can include you in the prize patrol tomorrow. Okay. Hi Deb, I see that you're watching. While I'm up here above my iPad, I can tell who's watching. When I'm down here, I can't. It doesn't tell me on the computer. So, okay, the host code for this month is D9. Oh, I don't know if that's an S or a 5. 9. It's got to be D9S9H3GH. Okay. Let me set that aside and put that up here for now. Okay, so I showed you a picture of this card. Happy Halloween, Deb. So this card we made at our Hardcore Stamping reunion. And it's kind of neat because it folds up like this. So you can set it up. And when you close it, hi Claudia, you can tuck each side in. And there you go. It's nice and flat. Fits nicely into an envelope. As you can see here, it will fit right in there. So I am going to make that card slightly different. I'm going to make it using, this is the One Horse Open Sleigh paper. This is an online exclusive. I just got 3 more packages of it, so I know that they have it available. So if you're interested in getting some, it is gorgeous. Let's see, I have a package that's already open. I can show you a few of the designs. I've used one of the designs all up, and I just got the package of the new stuff today. So these are ones that I cut down for Christmas cards for my Christmas card event in September. And then there's a bunch more in here. They're just gorgeous. And the flip sides are just prints or wood grain. There's a couple of different wood grains in there too. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we need a 10 by 4 1/4 inch card base. So I'm using Petal Pink as my base, and I've already cut it to 4 1/4. I think I cut it to 4 1/4. Yes, I did. So it's still 4 1/4 by 11 though, so I'm going to cut an inch off to get started. Okay, and then I am going to score this. Hello, Elizabeth. Nice to see you here. Okay, I'm going to score this at 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 5 1/2, and 7 3/4. So 2 1/4. I could use my scoreboard, but I've got this right here. 4 1/2, 5 1/2. Making sure I'm using the right thing, and then 7 3/4, which is 2 1/4 off the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that over and do 2 1/4 over there too. Okay. All right, so I've got all my scoring done. Hi, Vicki. Okay, so now I am going to fold. So I'm going to do a valley fold on each end, which means it sinks in like a V or a valley. Let me get my, okay, score it. Valley fold, and then I'm going to do 2 mountain folds in the middle. Oops. Mountain fold and mountain fold. So we have 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 1 inch, 2 1/4, 2 1/4. So let's see. 4 1/2, 4 1/2 is 9, and yes, and 1 inch is 10. All right, so now we just have to do our decorating. So what I did was I took one piece of paper. Let me get another one of those out and show you which paper I am using. Let's see here. Is that it? That is it. So I'm using 2 pieces of this paper with the little deer in the middle. This is the reason that I picked Petal Pink, because I wanted to match the inside of the ears. That up there isn't going to show very much, but the inside of the ears I thought was really cute. So I'm going to take these, and let me just do a little checking here. Yep. Okay, so this one's going on this side. This one's going on this side. You'll see why in a couple of minutes. So, and of course my screen has gone out. Hi, Cheryl. My screen has gone out, so I can't see what you guys are seeing, but I know that it's working because it works every week when my screen goes out. Just happens to be the cruddy internet we've got here. All right, so put this on here. There's one side, and then the other side. I'm using my Stampin' Seal Plus. It goes on the other side. I hope I got that right. Yes, I did. Okay. All right, here we go. They line up pretty well. And then I have this cut out, and I centered it so that when I put it on here, it's going to be part of, you'll see that it lines up. That's why I had to use two pieces. Thank you for sharing, Cheryl. That's why I had to use two pieces, because I had to make sure that I could line up my design. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and restart there we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, before I glue this onto here, I'm going to cut that cute little deer out of the center. So let me get my little mini die cut and embossing machine. I think that'll fit. Yes, it will. I just got my new plates for this today, but I haven't opened the package yet, so I'll just go ahead and use the old yucky ones here. I'm going to kind of center it as best I can. That looks pretty good. Run her through. Okay. There we go. So I'm doing a little bit. So this card, as I said, this card was presented to us by Lisa Bailey. She's a demonstrator in a different line from the same group that I started out in. And I just loved how she did it. So, and I'm sure she got it from somebody else, because we all spread these around. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to glue this onto here. And I am going to use glue this time because I want to be able to move it around. Oops, that's not the one I want. I want the one that's hanging upside down, so I know. And then I have to make sure that I get it on there in the right orientation. Okay. So that's the bottom, although it wouldn't really matter because I could just change how I put the square on. Nope, gotta move it a bit. That's why I like the glue. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna take this, we're gonna pop her up there with some dimensionals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I got to make sure that he goes on here right so that everything lines up with this. It's hard to do when I can't be right directly over it. Let me hold it up a little bit. Looks about right. There we go. It's a tiny bit off, but you can't really tell. Okay, and then this is going to go here, like so. And I have to line up my trees. So there we go. All right, so I just want it down the center. Whoops, I just want it down the center. I'm going to use dimensionals again. And I'm going to put the dimensionals on here. Being careful to stay away from the top and bottom. Just go in the middle. Whoops, I bent him a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and line my trees up again. Make sure I get them well lined up. It still doesn't look quite right. You can line them up from the top. It's easier to tell from the top when they're lined up right. And then I can look at the bottom. My dog is playing with his squeaky toy. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. That looks about right. It's a little off right there, but it's about as close as I'm going to get, I think. It's way lower than I expected it to be. Could go up a tiny bit, but I think we're going to leave it like that. So there we go. So now you can write your message right in here. Either spot, as long as it's behind here, as long as it's behind there. Let's go ahead and do some decorating. All right, I just got these adhesive back sparkle gems. Hi, Bev. Okay, these almost look pinky to me. They must be like a rose gold. So let's just put one of these little ones on here, like right there. Oh, look, the trees do all line up very well. I think actually if I do this again with designer series paper, I'll actually adhere it to cardstock before I cut it out because that's a little flimsy there. Let's put a bigger one down here, and let's put another little one up here in this corner somewhere. I'll put it there. Okay, let's get some words on this baby. So I'm going to announce again, guys, because I announced this before anybody was on. Beginning next week, my Tuesday night with Wendy is going to switch to Wednesday night with Wendy. So from now on, you'll find me on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time instead of Tuesday nights, because Tuesdays things seem to be picking up on Tuesdays. So, okay, let's see here. So I think since I have more space on the top, I'm going to go ahead and put a little saying up there. Where is that? I could use the actual set that goes with this, the sleigh ride set. Horse and sleigh. Yes, this will work. And I'm just going to put joyful on here. I'm going to actually put it on here. Joyful. There it is. Okay. And I'll leave the petal pink. So it's kind of a non-traditional colored Christmas card. Oh, I need a little strip to put it on. All right, let me just cut a little strip here. Hi, Tammy. All right. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Cut that. And we will put this right here. If you're cutting something that small, make sure that you have your slicing blade above the piece, because if I were to cut from down here, it's just going to push the cardstock up instead of cutting the cardstock. I just want a little tiny banner. And you know, it actually might be even better to do this in a brown. But nope, that looks really nice, I think. I just want to do one other thing to it before I adhere it down. Yes, I do. Okay. Excuse me. This chair is so noisy. I have this petal pink ribbon. So I'm going to use, oops, sorry, I think I just, sure would be nice to see what I'm doing. Okay, let me get some, you know what, I'm going to use glue. It's just easier to use glue on something this tiny. It's a little bit of tape on the edge of it, so it's sticking to my finger. I'm going to glue it to the ribbon. going to trim the ribbon. Me too, Deb. I love the deer too. It's really cute. There we go. I'm going to put it right here. I don't want it centered. I'm going to put it off to the side like that. And I am going to pop it because why not? I'm going to use some of the edge pieces. There we go. Gotta make sure the glue dries. I might need to use tearing tape. There it goes. Nope, it's not stuck yet. I think I want it to go a little further over than that. There we go. So there's Joyful. And then on the inside, I am going to put something on this flap. I may also, you know what? I think I'm going to put the tree on that flap. And I'm going to do a pink tree. I'm going to do a petal pink tree, but I am going to, the words that I use inside are going to be brown. Oops, I just got my fingers in the ink. I'm just going to put a pink tree over here. Tone on tone. I really like tone on tone. There we go. And then I need pluck. What shall we put in here? This is a problem because these are all very wide. I'm going to get a saying from another piece, another set, because I could probably fit and a Happy New Year there, but it doesn't really go that much with Joyful. So I'm going to grab a different set. A simple letter sent to say, thinking of you this Christmas Day. So get that out. We'll grab, let's see. It's hard to tell what colors of brown are there. Let me see here. You know, I'm going to use Pebbled Path. I really like the Pebbled Path, and there is Pebbled Path in this paper. So put it right here. There we go. It's a little crooked. That makes it an original, of course. Hi, Shirley. Good to see you here. Okay, so let me just clean these real quick so I don't stick my hands on them. Oops, that came right off. Okay, so let me show you the card again. So it starts out like this, and I used 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper out of the One Horse Open Sleigh paper that's available online exclusively. And I cut the edges, the outer edges off of one of them. And actually what I did was I measured, so this is 5 1/4 by 4, which is a typical mat that we use, or a rectangle that we use on a card. So I chose the part in the middle of the paper. Let me just grab one and show you what I'm saying. Grab one of those. So I knew that whoops, that's not it. I knew that I really wanted to have that deer as my center focus. So I can get one out. That's the fox. It's in here somewhere. Where are you? These out. I don't want the fox. There's the deer. Little fawn. Okay, so what I did was I took a piece of wax paper. You could take a window sheet and make sure it's 5 1/4 by 4. And I figured out exactly where I wanted my deer to be. And then I trimmed around it. So I ended up taking 3/8 inch off of each side, 3/4 inch off the bottom, and 1 1/4 inch off the top. so that the deer would be centered right in the middle. And then I cut a 2 1/8 inch panel, or maybe a 2-inch panel. What did I do? 2 1/8 inch panel off of what remained. So after this was off, I cut a panel 2 1/8 inch over there, 2 1/8 inch over there. And then I took a square. I think this is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and I laid that down in the middle, a square of vellum. Laid it down in the middle, and then cut that out to make sure that out of a second one, to make sure that that would line up so that my second square would line up with my first 2 rectangles. I hope that makes sense to you guys. If not, ask me. I will try to explain it a little further if you need any help, if you decide to make this card. But I just wanted to really use the DSP and line it up. The one that Lisa did, this is the one that I got before. This is much sturdier because it's a specialty paper. It's thicker than regular designer series paper. But so that's the one that Lisa Bailey did, and this is the one that I did. Either way, the people who are getting them can stand them right up. So that is that. Let me show you the Christmas cards I've been working on. Some of you will be getting these Christmas cards, but not all of you, because I'm not going to make 80 of them. Sorry, hope you can hear me while I'm talking. So this idea I got from Verna Mullen. I'm not sure where she got it from, but I just love these panels. So I decided to use the St. Nicholas stamp set and the paper that goes along with it. And then I used Pebble Path for the background. And so far, these are the 2 that I've made. I cut out, I had 20, so these are the Santas that cut out with the dies. And rather than have to color a whole bunch of Santas, I cut the Santas out, all the Santas that would cut out with the dies. I had 2 sheets of the designer series paper. I ended up with 20 Santas, 10 of the green cloaked and 10 of the red cloaked. So, and then I wanted to make sure that they stood out from the designer series paper behind them, so I cut them out again in cardstock and glued them on just a little bit off of the edge of the cardstock so it looks like a shadow behind them. And then I cut out 20 of the toy bags. I did have to color all of those. And then I cut out 20 of using the, what is the name of this punch? This is the decorative circle punch. And I cut out 20 of those from that particular DSP, designer series paper. And then I am slowly cutting out using the Country Inn dies. I'm cutting out the rectangles or the die cuts, and then a smaller version out of the designer series paper. So I'll be using different designer series papers, and this is the back of one of them. So I can flip them over. I can do all kinds of different things. So I just like to keep myself amused. I get bored if I'm making like 8. I do have to make 80 Christmas cards, and I get bored if I make 80 all the same. So I try to mix it up a little bit. So that's those. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is my cards, my card samples for the upcoming card class that is December 12th and 13th. On Saturday the 11th, I have a Stampin' Up! Function, so I won't be having the class on Saturday like I usually do. But I will be having the classes on Sunday and Monday, 12th and 13th. And I don't have the one Christmas card that we're going to make. I don't have a sample of that. This is the technique we'll be doing. So simple. This is a bookbinder technique. It's the most simple technique you could possibly have. So this is just a note card. You guys can put whatever you want in it. That's number 1. Actually, that's number 4. I have the bins numbered. I'll set that aside for now. Okay, and then this one is one of my friends, Vicky, requested a retirement card, so I thought this would be appropriate. Just put congratulations on it. And then on the inside, Super Fantastic Mega News, or if you can, I probably have a stamp that says on your retirement or something like that, but I just thought that would work, and then you could say, great news, you're retired, whatever. So that's that one. Then we have a Fun Fold. This set is an online exclusive. It's called Fluffiest Friends, and it also has dies to go with it. I fell in love with these. They're so adorable. So I used them in here. So it's a birthday card, which I'm going to leave birthday off of because some people want to make Christmas cards out of, no, that I'm going to leave I'm going to put birthday on these. That's right. She needs birthday cards. But I got the little chipmunk. I believe it's a chipmunk. Got the bunny, and I got the cat. And then there's also a beaver and a bear and a little birdie. The little birdie's on there too, though. So I just love this. And then the last card, and then I'll show you a picture of the Christmas card that we're making. Let's see if I can get this out of its... Here we go. Kind of a sympathy card. Wishing you comfort. May you find peace in the days to come and in the loving thoughts that surround you now. So, and then the little other card, the Christmas card that we're going to be making. Let me just get my picture out here of it. There it is. Come on, turn. This is the Christmas card that we will be making. Let me get up so I can make sure that you can see it. There you go. It's really, really simple. It looks hard. The background is another one of the cards, the DSP, the Designer Series paper that I used on tonight's card. The sleigh one horse open sleigh or whatever it is. So, and that was by request of Vicki and my friend Bev Fisher. They both asked if they saw that I did these as swaps for an event, and they asked if we could do them for Christmas, so, or for November. Okay, that is really all I have for you tonight. Remember, starting next week, I will be coming to you on Wednesday nights instead of Tuesday nights, and I'll be drawing the prize patrol on Thursday nights. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate you all being here. Happy stamping. Bye-bye. Hi, Lynn. Bye.